Right, our next guest is known as one of Auckland's finest hip-hop artists. Now he's working with kids he says the world has turned its back on.
If you could afford to buy, otherwise it's like a guy with a dollar maho markets with a cup of nice or die.
Born in Tonga, raised in Auckland, Rizván Tuatahi is a multi-skilled musician and artist. For the past year, he's been going behind the wire at the Youth Justice Residence Korowai Manaaki to run a class called Rap and Rec.
You guys remember alliteration? Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme.
Subway, yeah. Crazy courses.
Yeah, you got it. Nailed it, you got it. A lot of these kids, the world has turned their backs on them. And some of them, you have to rebuild their confidence and self-esteem because it's been shattered and, through abuse or through violence. A lot of them are Polynesian kids, and in Polynesian culture, a lot of children don't have a place in the family structure to speak. But we all have a right to express, we all have a right to say how we feel, even if it's anger, even if it's sadness and depression. Paige, that's our theme.
Judged.
Yep. Judged. Anything else?
Not getting a second chance at life, eh?
Second chance.
Push to the side.
Yep. And you take your own angle from that, your own definition or interpretation of caged.
I was shy as when I first started. I just didn't want to express everything in front of everyone. But after working with Frizz for 9 months, it became easier and easier as time flew by. I just use it as an expression tool. So instead of expressing my feelings out loud, I will express it on a paper and then put it on a song. So that's my way of handling hard spaces.
Which ones have to rhyme?
The last words.
N-words.
Yep, the N-words. Bar number 1 and bar number 2 have to rhyme. Bar number 3, bar number 4 have to rhyme. Music to me is nostalgic. It's always recapturing or expressing your inner child, And I think these kids, I feel like they don't have a chance to express themselves. And one of the recurring themes is the missing father or a lack of parents being around. So they never get to talk to anybody, and I feel like with music, they get to say how they feel and express their emotions without being judged. The streets, robbing niggas to survive, getting chased by the police. Yeah, so that's number 2.
When Riz came, he just talked to me. He just said, who cares what people think about you? You're you, just do you. Yeah, it just takes a man to stand up to express his feelings, So I feel this is how I voice myself, to society, to people who judge me.
After 10 weeks of Rap and Rec, Rizván students get a reward, a CD of half a dozen tracks they've written and recorded themselves.
Ready when you are?
Yeah.
People see me as a criminal, a victim to the streets, robbing gets to survive, getting chased by police. Yeah, I'm judged by society in the way that I live. It's like me against the world. Yeah, it's kind of like a...
It's a blessing at the same time because I'm learning as much from them as they are from me. And I feel like if I didn't have that figure in my life, I would be in the same path. I try to help as much as I can, and I think the common ground is music.
I'm caged in like an animal that's stuck in the box, trapped inside a bird cage, getting judged by police. Make my way.
Makes me feel good because I know that I wrote that myself and I recorded it in the way that I wanted to record it, and people actually liked it. Show my family that that I can do different things. So I just want to show them that I can actually lead another way in life.
I'm heading straight to the top, walk straight past my head is leading life on the light.
Yeah, lovely story. And if that story has left you feeling something like hope inside, well, here's a little bit more. There's a law change that comes into effect from today that now most offenders aged 17 will be placed in a youth justice facility like that one, Korowai Manaaki, rather than jail. And there's a sort of a scientific reason for that, and that is that a 17-year-old's brain has not stopped forming yet, and so if you give them therapy and therapeutic work, then they're more likely to change. So fingers crossed.
Kia ora.